From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We have a brief lull in terms of our precipitation across the area this afternoon, but notice on satellite and radar, more rain showers already beginning to gather off to our southeast. Temperatures outside still relatively warm, mid to low 60s. We're at 62 degrees in Lansing and St. John's, 64 our current temperature in Jackson. These rain showers will be sticking with us as we go throughout the rest of the afternoon and evening, and there's more rainfall in the forecast for tomorrow as well. I'll have some more details in just a bit. 6 News at noon starts right now.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News at noon.
Voting will start in fewer than 24 hours for the 2024 general election. Of course, it's our top story at noon. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Megan Vaselli. New poll numbers from Emerson College and Nexstar show the race remains tight here in Michigan. Take a look. The poll shows Vice President Kamala Harris has a slight lead over former President Donald Trump, 49.7% to 48.2%. Just 1.9% of those surveyed said they're still undecided. Turning to the race for the U.S. Senate seat of retiring Senator Debbie Stabenow, Democrat Alyssa Slotkin holds a slightly larger lead with 48.9%. over Republican Mike Rogers at 45.2%. Now in this one, nearly 6% remain undecided. Meanwhile, both presidential candidates are making their final push to get supporters to the polls. Mr. Trump has campaign events scheduled today in 3 battleground states, including Michigan, while VP Harris has several rallies planned in Pennsylvania. Natalie Brand is here for you now with the latest on the final day of campaigning.
Former President Donald Trump returned to North Carolina Monday, a battleground state he carried the last 2 elections.
Here's my only purpose in even being here today. Get out and vote. You know that.
In the final stretch of the campaign, Trump went off message at his Sunday rally in Pennsylvania.
And I have this piece of glass here. But all we have really over here is the fake news, right? And to get me, somebody would have to shoot through the fake news, and I don't mind that so much.
The campaign, trying to downplay the remarks, said they had nothing to do with the media being harmed. Vice President Kamala Harris is focusing all of her attention election eve on Pennsylvania, where she will hold star-studded Get Out the Vote concerts this evening, along with coordinated events across the battleground states.
We have momentum. It is on our side. Can you feel it?
In Michigan Sunday, Harris tried to appeal to the state's large Arab American population.
I will do everything in my power to end the war in Gaza.
The polls continue to show a tight race in all the key battleground states within the margin of error.
A race this close can not just break either way, but can break very large in a direction either way because there's so many factors.
It all comes down to turnout. More than 78 million Americans have voted early this election. That's nearly half of the 2020 total vote. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Now, as we've mentioned, both campaigns continue to prioritize Michigan, even in the final hours of this election season. Democratic vice presidential nominee, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, and his wife Gwen will be in our state today to rally supporters in Detroit. The campaign hasn't revealed yet exactly when or where the rally will be held tonight, but we expect Governor Walz to encourage the crowd to get out and vote tomorrow if they haven't already. On the other side of the ticket, Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump will finish his campaign tonight in Grand Rapids. He's scheduled to deliver remarks around 10:30 during a rally at Van Andel Arena, marking his final stop on the campaign trail. Meanwhile, his running mate will attend a rally this afternoon in Flint. Ohio U.S. Senator J.D. Vance is expected to speak around 1:15 and likely will focus on America affordable again. Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson is holding a press conference in Detroit right now after early voting came to an end yesterday. We are streaming her update live on our website, WLNS.com, and we'll have a full report for you later this evening. Heads up for those of you planning to vote tomorrow in East Lansing. The city clerk wants to remind those in Precinct 6 that you'll have to cast your ballot at a different location. The city temporarily moved the polling site at Eastminster Presbyterian Church to the East Lansing Hannah Community Center for tomorrow due to construction. Now, if you end up in the wrong spot, the city will arrange a free ride to the correct location via Uber or Lyft, but you need to reach out to the precinct chair of the polling location for an access code. And of course, be sure to stay with 6 News, your local election headquarters, on air, online, and on our free 6 News app. 6 News is working to learn more today about the deadly crash that shut down all lanes of I-96. Michigan State Police says it happened late Saturday night near the M52 overpass. Traffic was stopped temporarily as DTE Energy crews completed work on nearby power lines. But when the freeway reopened around 11:45 that night, a semi-truck driver didn't see the backup and couldn't stop in time, according to state police. Investigators say 15 vehicles were involved in the crash, and several of them, including the semi, caught on fire. They say 3 people from Lansing and a man from Carson City all died in the crash. 17 others were hospitalized with serious injuries, including the semi-driver. Stay with 6 News on air and online as we work to learn the latest. It's time for our annual Coats for the Community Drive. We teamed up with the Cristo Rey Community Center and other local partners to help people stay warm this winter. But it's not just coats. If you've got hats, scarves, gloves, or any other winter clothing, you can drop it off right here at the station. You can also take your donations to Cristo Rey, Carpet Studio in Okemos, your local Barry Amos Cleaners, or one of 3 Shaheen Automotive locations. We're accepting items through November 15th.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Thus far, it has been a dreary and rainy start to the work week, with some locations across mid-Michigan already picking up on a decent amount of rainfall. Notice we have a wide variety of rainfall totals across the area, ranging anywhere between a few hundredths of an inch over in Howell, Ann Arbor, and Adrian, all the way up to nearly 9/10 of an inch here in the city of Lansing. Our first batch of precipitation that we saw earlier this morning continuing to track off to the northeast. Notice on satellite and radar we do have a couple of isolated sprinkles across the area, but generally we are drying things out with mostly cloudy conditions for the time being. We do have additional chances for rainfall in the forecast. Notice a wider view out on satellite and radar. So it's this very long line of rain extending off to our southeast, all associated with this second low pressure system and its associated cold front. And as that continues to make its way closer into our area, well, yet again, our chances for rainfall are going to increase across mid-Michigan. We will see a brief lull in terms of our precipitation this afternoon. Again, can't completely rule out the chance for a few isolated sprinkles, but most of the rainfall that we are expecting is going to return later this evening and continue across the area overnight tonight. Tomorrow is actually going to follow a very similar pattern to what we see today. A couple of scattered rain showers in the morning. We dry things out Tuesday afternoon, but as a fairly strong cold front pushes through the area Tuesday evening, those light to moderate rain showers yet again return to the area, and I can't completely rule out an isolated rumble of thunder at that time. In addition to the rainfall that we have in the forecast tomorrow, also going to be incredibly windy yet again, with gusts right around 30 miles per hour. We take care of all of that as we move into our Wednesday. Rain showers move out, and we have dry and cloudy conditions in the forecast for the day by then. In total, we're expecting an additional ½ an inch to possibly as much as 3/4 of an inch of rainfall, especially for areas along and north of I-96 by the time this system wraps up early Wednesday morning. Current conditions outside, again, we are drying things out, but still a decent amount of rain already. In Lansing, our rainfall total at 84/100ths of an inch. In addition to the rain, also relatively windy, a peak wind gust of 21 miles per hour reported earlier this morning. In Grand Ledge, we're at 62 degrees. Our rain gauge was clogged earlier this much lower compared to the other rainfall amounts that we are seeing across the area. We're in the mid-60s over in Jackson, winds gusting up to 22 miles per hour thus far, and a gloomy look over the city of Hillsdale. Temperatures at 65 degrees, our rainfall total right at 1/4 of an inch. As we move throughout the rest of our Monday, again, rain showers continue. We will make it up to a high of 66 degrees. Tomorrow, you will notice on our 6-day forecast, going to be a lot warmer thanks to a warm front that will be lifting through the area. High temperatures by then in the low 70s. Again, rain showers in the forecast as well as those breezy conditions. Strong cold front will move through on Wednesday. We dry things out with mostly cloudy skies, but notice those temperatures are going to be feeling a lot more seasonable across the area. We'll stay with highs in the mid to upper 50s. Overnight lows generally will be in the upper 30s across the area.
Yeah. This is something.
Yeah, all of this rain, but I mean, we were talking about the drought conditions earlier, so it is needed.
Absolutely. It's just, yeah, it's a lot. All right. Thank you, Kendall.